Hi everyone, I'm Ubish from the Freedom Geek team, and today I'm here with Alexandra. Thank you so much for being here. Can you please give a small introduction about you and your business?
Sure. So my name is Alexandra Howieson. I am the co-founder of a small firm called Blue Turtle Consulting. And we're a small but international company. We are specialized in online training and consulting for architects and design professionals.
That's great. So tell us, how did you start it, or how did you even hear about virtual assistants?
Well, as part of our business, we actually run what we call a mastermind, but it's basically just a group of professionals that get together and talk about how to improve their business practices and how they can do things more efficiently, what software they use, all that sort of thing. And one of the members in our group said that she had used Freedom Geek recently or previously to hire a virtual assistant. And she said, it was fantastic. You should try it out. And we did.
And did you try the virtual assistants before the Freedom Geek, or this has been your only experience?
We've hired people before, but not specifically as virtual assistants. So, for example, we've hired people through Upwork. We've hired people, hired local people as well, but never specifically as a virtual assistant. So this was a new thing.
And did you have any concerns about hiring someone that you didn't even know how was their English level, or if they are, where they are?
I guess initially, when we've hired people through Upwork before, that had been an issue. So we had some struggles with finding people who could communicate effectively. But because we were recommended through this person who was part of our mastermind group, she actually told us, they're really well vetted. Their English skills are great. If you're interested in getting a VA, you should really try it out. So by the time we got to getting in touch with Freedom Geek, we felt pretty comfortable with what we were going to get. But yeah, it definitely had been a concern to us previously when we were doing other overseas or offshore hires.
And then when you already started to work with the Freedom Geek, did you have any pleasant surprises that you want to share?
Oh, absolutely. It was one of those. So we've been running our company for just over 10 years. And we were getting to the point in the company where it was getting really draining. 10 years is kind of a long time to be at it almost by yourself. So my husband and I run the firm together. And it was we just sort of lost motivation. And when we hired our Freedom Geek Princess, it was we started off with little tasks. And I think even just by 3 days in, there was this huge weight off my shoulders because there were all these little tasks, administrative tasks that were just killing my enthusiasm for the business. And all of a sudden, Princess had just kind of taken them off my hands. And we would go out for coffee in the morning, and my husband and I always go out for coffee. We talk about the business, we strategize for the day ahead. And I was sitting at that coffee meeting and I was like, oh my goodness, work is actually happening and I'm not doing it. And that was just fantastic.
How long you have been working with your VA now?
So it's nearly 3 months. I actually just checked the calendar before we got on this call, and it's nearly 3 months. And it's just been fantastic because initially we just started off with little administrative tasks. Princess has just shown that she's really competent. She now kind of runs my calendar for me instead of the other way around. So when we first started, I would say, can you do this? Can you do that? Make sure you do these things. And now, less than 3 months in, she kind of sends me a message for the day and says, have you done this? Have you done that? And it's awesome. I love it.
Do you have any idea of how many hours you were saving per week with their virtual assistants?
Well, I can tell you approximately how many hours our Freedom Geek does for us. It's generally between 10 and 20 hours a week. But what I also found is that because Princess is really organized and maybe even because she is newly enthusiastic about our company, I think she probably does things quicker than I did. So it's probably more than 10 to 20 hours per week that we're actually saving. So yeah, awesome.
That's great. How does hiring a VA has impacted your business?
It has actually been just an amazing change for our business because, first of all, it makes you feel like you're part of a team, that you're not the only person pushing this boulder up a hill. So it gives you some sort of emotional strength, I guess, to keep going. But also there's the practical side of it. We're obviously able to get more done because Princess is doing quite a large chunk of what I used to do. So now I'm in this position where instead of me having to work in my business and do all the administrative stuff, I can now take a step back and I've got time to focus on the bigger picture. So actually, as a result of that, we've now done a couple of new hires that are helping us get more done as well. So it's been an exponential effect, which is just really exciting. I was done with the business, to be honest, before we took on our Freedom Geek. And now I'm like, okay, I think we can, it's given me a new sense of enthusiasm for it as well. So it's been great.
That's great. Do you think that there is a particular stage in a business when it's better to hire a virtual assistant?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, like I say, we've been going for just over 10 years. So we're not a startup, we're not a new company. And it's been hugely beneficial for us. But I could also imagine that it would be really useful to hire, earlier on in the business, because I was reflecting recently, actually, that had we hired someone like Princess earlier on in the company, then we probably could have grown our company a lot more quickly. And we probably would have done it in a more efficient way, because what we found is that when you have to assign tasks to someone else, you become more systematic in your approach. So therefore, you become more efficient. And yeah, if we'd implemented that earlier on in our business, then we probably could have grown it more quickly. So I would say there's not one specific time. It's just kind of useful all the time.
How did you found the entire process of starting with your virtual assistant with the Freedom Geek?
So it was really organized and it was really transparent. And it was great because, as I mentioned, we have previously done offshore hires through Upwork and various other outsourcing platforms. And one of the challenges we faced was that because we were doing all the vetting of candidates ourselves, at some point in the process, you just run out of steam and you need to make the hire. And because you're trying to do the vetting yourself, sometimes you miss things and you don't do things as thoroughly as you could have. So what we found with Freedom Geek was that because they did all the vetting, they gave us a short list. It was just so much more efficient. We basically sat down and interviewed 3 separate candidates. So it took us about an hour and a half one day and we were done. So just completely different process to what we were trying to do when we hired ourselves offshore. So yeah.
So in case that somebody is watching over here and it's a little bit hesitant about hiring a VA, what will you tell to them?
Oh, I would say definitely give it a go. I mean, for us, it's been an absolute game changer for our business. And I mean, it's when you consider the positive impact that it could potentially have on your business versus the risk. I mean, the risk is so small and the potential benefit is just so much greater. So I would say absolutely give it a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's awesome.
In case anyone also looking to this video and wants to ask you more questions, what are your social medias and how they can find you?
Okay, well, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those things. And it's all under the same handle. It's Blue Turtle Consulting. And actually, our Twitter handle is Design Fee Wizard. So you can check us out there, or you can just Google our names and we'd be happy to connect.
That's amazing, Alexandra. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing all of this. And I hope that you are having a great time working out with your VA.
We absolutely are. Thank you very much.